Welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and the Flea. Hey, hey.
What's going on?
We got a lot going on today because guess what? We got a hot seat and there's someone in it today. So please help me welcome Rachel.
Of course.
One of the Swap-O-Rama key team players, head Hefe, if you will.
Oh,
Justin Joseph.
Justin Joseph.
Yes,
Thank you for
first
joining
guest.
us today.
How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you ladies doing?
We're good.
We are good. Happy Thursday.
You too. You too. And thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here and spend about 30 minutes with you ladies.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
You were number one on our list, so clearly that's why you're number one here.
It's awesome. I hope so. I
mean, so tell us what's going on with you.
You know, it's just enjoying summer in Chicago. It's a fantastic city.
Perfect. Yes.
And just looking forward to share some, insight as to what I do at Swap-O-Rama and yeah, excited to participate.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I think you're spot on. We're always obsessed about talking about summer in Chicago.
I have a question. Is there one thing you've done so far this summer that's like standing out to you that's like, I guess maybe like a highlight, like top favorite thing, top favorite restaurant you've tried?
Yeah, I usually just walk by the beach by
nice.
Lake Michigan on my spare time and walk through the neighborhoods, go to a couple street fests, which are always nice.
Yes.
Do some shopping and take the kids with me, so it's really nice.
Love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's pretty spot on to everything we always talk about. We love our street fest here. The beach.
There's always something to do, especially in Chicago, I feel like during the summer.
I know. And I can't believe it's like, dare I say, almost over.
No.
But hey, no, we're soaking it all in. I hope it's nice weather. But Justin, thank you again for being here today. We, as you know, here at You, Me, and the Flea, love all things swap, all things flea. And that's what we're going to talk and pick your brain about today. So we're super excited to hear your perspectives and share that insight with our audience. So thank you again. And I say we jump right in. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Great.
So, I mean, I think just casually, if you can kind of tell us maybe how you got into Swap-O-Rama and what brought you here. So like a little bit about your background history, things like that.
Sure. So grew up in the northwest suburbs, then went to Boca Raton, Florida for college, which was a lot of fun.
I was going to say, instantly when I hear that, I'm thinking party.
Just a little bit, but there was some studying as well. Got a degree in hospitality, did a little of that for a while for hotels and restaurants and resorts. Moved back to Chicago and went into sales. For advertising.
Nice.
So that was a lot of fun. Did that for about 12, 13 years. And then my father, Ted Joseph, was offered the opportunity to come and run Swap-O-Rama. So he asked me to come with him and assist in running it. And so this opportunity has been a lot of fun. It was started in December of 2016.
Wow.
So super exciting, a lot of fun. Never a dull moment. I enjoy every day. So fast forward, now it's almost coming up on 7 years.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mazel.
Thank you.
I feel like I should reiterate here. Justin Joseph is Vice President of Operations and actually all things Swap-O-Rama. In case anyone didn't know Rachel, I don't know if you knew his official title, but that's that. And it's so funny because actually we met at one of your sales roles. So that's kind of our connection. Another interesting connection, you and I met.
I know.
We didn't meet there, but we're in this little triangle together
all somehow
through
worked at
sales
the same place
roles
during different times.
So that's pretty cool.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. It's very happy to cross paths with you, and Rachel obviously came along with it.
Yeah,
So
of course.
This is awesome.
Nice. And I was just out of curiosity, like when the opportunity was presented, have you ever gone to a flea market or like visited one, even know what it was?
I was going to say, or have you...
In the north side, I don't know that there is any, so...
My question was when the opportunity presented itself for you guys, or for your dad, to take over Swap, and then, you kind of come on. At that point, had you ever gone to a Swap?
Yeah.
So it's funny, as a kid, I'd go to Fort Lauderdale, Florida on vacation on spring break.
Okay.
And they had one down there. My best friend and I would go to there was this on Sawgrass, and it's in the Fort Lauderdale area. And we'd go there and we'd shop, and big market, I think outdoors and indoors. So we just mess around at the stores there. And so that was my only experience prior to joining SwapORama, was a visitor in Florida a couple times.
Wow.
But I totally forgot, once as an adult, when this opportunity came up in 2016, I visited the markets before, committing to join the company. And it was just great. I'm like, wow, this is a really cool business and situation. So a few weeks thought about it, and then joined forces with Ted, and haven't looked back since.
Yeah,
no brainer.
It's so fun. It's actually interesting because Rachel and I talked about like our backgrounds. So like in European culture, it's very common. So like, for example, growing up in Greece, I went to so many and I always knew about Swap because it was 30 minutes from our house, 25 minutes from our house, and plus right off the highway. So like it was inevitable that we would always see it. And I just can't believe you never saw it. What is your problem?
I'm just
I'm
a careful driver. I keep my eyes on the road.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not looking for it, not that like it's just easy to like pass, but like if it's not on your radar, you're not paying attention. I don't know. For me, unless I like know something is at exit 2B, I'm just cruising.
12.
I'm not looking
We're
around.
12A. Exit 12A off 294, ladies.
Excuse me.
Awesome. So I think, interestingly enough, so then you'd never been to a swap. What the heck did you think when you walked into one?
I was just blown away by, all the visitors and the entrepreneurs inside the facility. Very cool experience. I remember I bought a bunch of Mexican candies.
Oh, wow.
My first time in there, and brought them home, and I'm like, this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a really cool experience. Just walked around, looked at it, and just kind of felt at home.
I could have some fun here is probably.
I guess. That's why I don't bring cash with me anymore.
No,
because
I get that.
My wife is like, no. Just, you can't bring any more stuff home.
Yeah, we don't need it.
We don't need it.
What does an average day look like for you? So like, what are some of your core responsibilities day to day at the flea market as in your role, right?
Yeah. So day to day, I'll chat with the team. We have a general manager, we have market managers, we have director of marketing, we have HR, and our lovely CEO, Ted. So we all kind of discuss kind of what's going on. We also have quality control manager who assists significantly. So we all discuss what's going on in the marketplace, what's happening. Are there any things that we have to, work on with the properties, vendor relations, visitors, what's going on, how to promote the market more for marketing. We've done a lot of new stuff with that. Just kind of overseeing everything, make sure the machine is running, and that's kind of overall day to day.
So you start the day with like a powwow.
I start the day just obviously checking my emails. Let's get going.
Yep.
Say good morning, everyone,
Yep.
and then kind of seeing, and if there's a market's open that day, maybe pop in for a visit, see how things are going.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't like to micromanage.
Yeah.
I prefer folks, doing what they do best, and we're always able to talk and communicate if stuff's going on. So
Okay, I have a question. Do you have like a have to have morning coffee? Is there an energy drink? You're driving in, you're like, I got to get my drink, I got to have my coffee. Is there anything that's like your morning go-to? What's your order?
Yes.
Give me your coffee order.
Two cups of coffee throughout the morning, and then a third
He
in
likes
the
some
afternoon.
black.
Straight black.
Okay. He's a very bold individual.
I get that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I know.
That's okay.
What I like.
Okay.
I like some coffee to get going.
Got it. Okay.
Then I calm down a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, that's
That's pretty average.
Yeah.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah. 2 cups of coffee
he's
is
missing
definitely
a few things though, because I think he has an entire life that he manages, like his family life first, and then he comes in to manage us. So I know his morning starts like pretty early.
Well, yeah,
morning starts usually 6:30.
He doesn't meditate and write in his journal like we do.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, 6:30.
You're not writing any daily affirmations.
No affirmations for Justin.
Yeah, get the household set you right. Get them off to kids off to camp.
Yeah. Let's get everybody moving.
Get everybody moving. And then enjoy their day at work.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm blessed that we have such a strong, awesome team.
I was gonna say, one thing that really made me really want to work with you guys and kind of do what we're doing now is your team. You have a great team under you, and I really do feel like you guys are like a happy, like, big family.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got each other's back. I felt that right away when I came to Swap.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you. And it's great having you with us.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
You're part of the team. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the team too, though, like, because Justin and I are fairly new, right? And so
you're saying to the industry.
To the industry, but also to the company.
Sure.
Like there are several employees that have been there for 20 plus years,
Wow.
and it just makes life a little bit easier too when they were open to teaching us and showing us the ropes, and also just their knowledge and skill sets, and it really does like make it easy across the board. And like Justin says, like, he checks in with everybody, but everyone really does like you always say, like, the moving parts, like there's so many moving parts, and if one part's not moving right, like,
it's not gonna flow.
We're not together. Yeah, we're not in sync, and that's really important. I would say too.
Absolutely.
And that's to touch on that for a second. I feel like I've learned is communication is critical in this business, and then just understanding personalities, and that's a big thing that I've learned over the past 6 years, is just getting to know people, who they are, and how they work, and what's best for that individual. So.
I think when you're in a leadership position like yourself, it kind of takes a second. How you might deliver a message to me could be entirely different than how you deliver it to Kristina.
Right.
And I think it just takes some, I've never been a VP in a role like yours, but when I was a manager and I had people under me, how I would, give constructive criticism or, approach ideas maybe, everyone's a little different. And so sometimes you'd have to soften it up with certain people. Some people are very direct. So, I feel like what you're doing is really working because you've got a lot of different, personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I work on it every day.
What are you talking about? Stay out of this, Rachel. No, it's true. I agree. I think that's like a very important skill for a manager to have.
Yeah.
And
or
from a person like watching your manager, you want
course.
them to have that, because it's like, I need someone to like know how I am. Like, I am sarcastic. I do need some direction on some things maybe, but like no direction on others. And so it's kind of important to know that when it comes to projects or just overall goals.
Sure.
Speaking of, like, what are maybe some high level goals, maybe for your team or even for yourself or SwapORama as a whole, that you're working on this year?
Just continue to make the markets more family friendly. Like, from day one, I just want kids to really enjoy, obviously the adults enjoying, but kids to come around and have, watch them run around in the market and shop with their parents and their grandparents, and then obviously make capital improvements to the markets and make the visitor and vendor experience better is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
And just letting the vendors know that they're, when they come to work, they enjoy themselves and they're treated with respect and enjoy their 8 to 10 hours that they're there every Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, those are kind of high level. And then obviously grow the business. I mean, if there's opportunities that come up for other acquisitions for markets that are for sale, or opening a new market from the ground up,
right.
Just always look at opportunities that come up and, really see if it can work out to benefit SwapORama.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
That's another big one.
That's our goals too.
I mean, yeah. I was just thinking of something you guys did, a few months ago with the Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
And just how amazing that was. Was that ever like something you had done before, or?
No. Yeah, that was a first time thing. And again, it kind of it was something that was introduced to us, and again, just kind of ticked all those boxes of like, this is a family friendly thing. This is a cultural driven thing. This is fun, and for
entertainment.
Although, there was a lot of moving parts, obviously, but it was kind of like a no-brainer thing to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the biggest one I think we've done since we've started. We've done a car show, we've done back to school stuff, or, different music, mariachis or blues bands and cool stuff like that. But I feel like this was the largest event we've done. And I think we learned a lot from it, how logistics and that kind of stuff to do more of that in the future.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and another part of this too, obviously, again, you wear several different hats, but I'm curious to hear maybe some challenges that you have right now, whether it's in the flea market industry, like in general, or your day-to-day things. Like, what are some of your challenges and how do you overcome them?
Well, some challenges are just, I think, having, a fair amount of employees. You just got to manage making sure everyone's, doing it right, and the individual's in the right seat. I think just overall just staying up to date with, the markets and making sure that they're tip-top shape the best we can, and cleanliness, doing the best we can as a team to make the experience the best for the visitors and vendors. So that's kind of the challenge. It's an ongoing challenge, I don't think that'll ever stop. It gets a lot of wear and tear of the properties from the millions of visitors we have, and you just gotta stay on top.
Yeah.
When I go there, I'm like I know I have mentioned this in a previous episode, but Kristina's like, oh, come on, hop in, Barbie. We're going to the flea market. I'm like, it's Tuesday. This is going to be calm.
No.
I am just like, I would love to just be a fly on the wall, or put a camera and just see how many people literally come in during the weekend. Thousands and thousands of people. I guess kind of shocked in a way, because for me, I knew about flea markets and stuff growing up, but I've lived here for 4.5 years and I never went to Swap until, Kristina kind of brought me on this little journey with her. And every time I'm like, this is what's happening in Chicago. Everyone needs to know about Swap-O-Rama.
Yes, they do.
They do. And we needed to. And we are on the journey to do that.
Yeah, and obviously another thing you were mentioning, what's challenges, I think it's also, just making sure your prices stay competitive, so the visitors can still come and visit and not raise those prices all the time. In your vendor spaces, you try to be fair with them as well, so they can continue selling and expanding their businesses too. And obviously with the cost of goods going up, everything's going up. I mean, you name it, it's up. So that's a challenge as well, is the financial piece of being fair to everybody, but also continue to run the operation and doing the best we can to make those improvements and keep the lights on.
Is there anything you're doing in particular that is working for you so far, with inflation and kind of the way the world is right now? Your price to get in is $2. That's I feel like a very affordable price. Was there ever a conversation recently within the last 6 months that you guys should up the entrance fee?
There's been discussions, and there are other companies that have raised prices recently. So it has been discussed. We haven't moved on it. We're trying, not to as long as possible, to be fair to everybody, but we'll see where it goes.
Not the answer for him, but I think in one episode we talked about reviews, and everyone's pretty critical on why am I paying for this, or what are you guys doing for us and things. And even though we are a flea market, there's still electricity, there's still air conditioning that we have to pay. There's still so many things. Yes, there's so many things that people maybe don't realize that we have to do. And to bounce off your answer here, we didn't want to do that for our visitors and vendors, so we try to minimize where we can. Maybe that's cutting our electric in a different way, or we'll find other places where we can work around doing that, so we don't have to do that particular thing, right? We're a little bit more conscious in other things. But we're pretty fortunate so far that everything's been working out, right?
Yeah, and we've we put a bunch of money into, with Kristina's doing the marketing. She's done a fantastic job. I think your teamwork here at the podcast is awesome.
Thanks.
You. I hope this stays forever. And I just think it's great for the brand and for the visitor and for the folks listening to this.
So thank you. Yeah. We hope so too. We like it.
We do.
So keep on watching, everybody. Okay, cool. So I think you mentioned earlier too, you have a family. You can or you can't talk about them, but I know as like an executive and someone in a higher position, right? Like, how do you manage your time, right? Like, how do you find a balance between work life, home life, all of that stuff, especially a business that's run dominantly on the weekends?
Agreed.
Yeah.
I have an amazing wife who...
Shout out.
I love that. Cheers to the wife. Cheers to the wife.
Cheers to the wives. Yes, I mean, without my wife understanding the business and the days and hours that go into it, the flea market space, that allows me to work Monday through Friday, whatever that looks like, pop in, Saturday if I need to, Sunday sometimes. So it allows me to be flexible and to, be aware of what's going on with the markets and tackle issues if they come up, or just, help out wherever I can help. So
I will say, and I've told Kristina this a few times, I love how hands-on you are with the market. Like we just recently went to the pop-up shop. I don't want to call it that, but like,
market,
yeah. And I saw you and I'm like, JJ's here. And she's like, yeah, he wouldn't miss this. And I'm like, in my head, it's a Sunday. You've got 2 kids. You have a wife. I'm like, the fact that like you show up and you're at like these events and like you're not sitting there with your arms folded, just watching and making sure everything's good. You're getting dirty. You're making sure everything. I mean, I've seen it. Yeah. And I feel like that speaks volumes about you and like what you have at home, your home life, because you have a great support system, obviously, right. That's kind of, I don't want to say allowing you to do that, but you're not somebody who's just sitting and watching things happen. Like right. I'm always very like, JJ's here, like every event, like you're there.
Well, I appreciate that.
Talk about showing up.
But I also try to, and I do like to be there, but I also like to be a little behind the scenes too, because if you're too involved, then you're in the way of other folks, doing their job and running their department that they see fit. And
for sure.
And I'm also very lucky and grateful for Ted allowing me to do the things the way I want to run things, and giving me the space and forum to do that. So I appreciate that, and it means a lot that he believes in me, and so we have a very good relationship. So that helps me, as well as my wife, do the things for Swap.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, and it's not like your average like 9 to 5 where you're like behind a desk the whole time. I know. And he can log off. It's like sometimes you have like, especially in our industry, like I know, for example, when I like execute a project or something, like it's kind of nice to see it in real time and see if it's actually working, and you want to see it like implemented, right? So it's like you have to kind of go in and see it. It's not like, a team will report back to you. Like, we are the team.
Yeah.
So like I have to go see my efforts sometimes, and it's like, no one else is going to do that for me. Sure. So, that's another hat that you kind of unfortunately have to wear, is like, that's managing from that position too. So yeah, good work.
Well, thanks. One person can't do it all.
No.
Yeah.
It's a team. Everyone is just as important as the other person. And when we have a project or something, all of the SWAP folks jump in and help out. I mean, they're going to do it, and it'll get done and done well. And that's how it is. So it works well.
Yeah,
it works well.
Well, and especially like in this industry, because it is so unique and niche, how do you try to stay ahead of things that are going on, or stay relevant and make sure that SwapORama's involved in that too and not falling behind, let's say?
Well, I think a big part is the staff. You guys always, share ideas and events or things that we can do to promote the markets and, give a reason for folks to come visit and vend, and always want them to feel welcomed. So it's the team. Most of their ideas come from the team, not all mine. And we just help initiate it and get it going sometimes off the ground. And so I feel like that's a big part is the group.
And it's just so crazy. I know, especially for my role, it's like things change so quickly. So you gotta
pivot fast.
Yeah, you do.
Ted,
you have to like
word.
Educate yourself.
Pivot,
you have to
baby.
educate yourself
quickly
so fast and make sure that, you know, you're better than the guy down the street, or at least on the same road as them.
Yep.
Showing that you're in doing something about it, you know, and so.
And I know we've talked about too, like kind of in a way, right, in some of these other episodes that we've done, like technology, right? Like this big, oh gosh, flea markets are going to go under because of the internet and online shopping and all this stuff.
Yep.
And
the convenience of just being able to click and add something to your cart.
So I'm curious to hear like your thoughts. Like, do you think Swap has been impacted by any of that, or will it be maybe?
I never was too concerned about that. I feel like flea markets have been in business forever, and I feel like the industry is only getting stronger with, you know, entrepreneurs, being crafty with whether they're making their own products or whatever that looks like. I feel like it's just a bigger industry each and every year. And even through COVID, it was still so strong once we opened after we closed for those 3 months. It bounced back so fast. No, I'm not too concerned about Amazon or whatever those other Etsy. I just think they're still going to want to come to the market to sell, and the shoppers are still going to want to buy.
I've said this, and I've said it 100 times. Let me tell you.
We agree.
I agree. And I buy a lot of stuff online, but there is so much stuff that Swap carries where, like, I've told Kristina, like, I feel like 100 times, I'm like, the fact that I can come here and literally pick up every single thing I need in one location, I don't know. It's just a different experience. Like, I really don't think that technology would do you guys any harm, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like, if anything, it's helping and like getting your name out there more, and you're able to show the products and the services that you guys actually have at Swap more than you ever were able to do before.
Right.
Yeah, to touch on that was in my head. I forgot to say it, but yes, I think that's a huge advantage with what you guys would do with marketing and promoting. And I think it's way more powerful to be helpful than hurtful if it's done right. Yeah. You know,
I mean, too, like, it's so funny because everyone's like, well, if there's something for sale and it's cheaper online, they'll pull it up online. And it's like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing because the vendor will give it to you for that price. You know what I mean? Like, they're very price competitive. Like, so it's like, okay, but, or you'll be like, oh no, actually that item's different than mine, and you can fight. Yeah. I just don't think it's relevant either.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
No,
so we gotta just use it to our advantage.
Exactly. I'm like, you just gotta take it and run with it. Yeah, use it to your advantage.
What do you think makes Swap thrive?
This is a good question.
I think.
What's its pulse?
All eyes.
Is it the tacos
on JJ?
Oh, the tacos are tasty. The tacos are.
They are.
They are. Elote, baby.
The food. Let me tell you. There's been a few times where I'm like, okay, I could eat seconds.
Yeah, seriously, that's it.
I just think that the minute you walk in, you just feel the vibe, you feel the energy, the excitement. It's just electric, I guess. Like, and a lot of markets are like that, but you know, in particular, I feel like ours, it's just wow. I think the things we do, you know, the food that's served, the interactions you're having with the vendors that are just so cool. Yeah, just the overall experience of just the music, the conversations, the noise, the smell.
No, it's true.
It's so true.
I've said this 100 times. Like, honestly,
it's
like,
the vibe.
it is the vibe. It's the energy. It's the vibe.
You can't really say it. You just you feel it.
Yeah,
you feel it.
And it's like as soon as you step in that gate, any of those gates, you're just like, whoa.
But that's what I'm saying. There's never been like one time where I'm like, oh my God, this was too much. I don't know what to do. Where do I start? Like,
I get that sometimes.
I'm like, it smells so good. Do I want to eat first, or should I walk around and then eat? You know what I mean? Like, it is for me going back every time. It's the vibes. It's the energy. It's like. It's like electric. The everyone is so family oriented. It's so personable. Everyone knows everyone, and it's like if you're not a celebrity at Swap, you could be. Okay, this is your time to shine.
Yeah, I think it's just the overall
experience.
Experience.
Have you heard of any like success stories from like vendors or anything that you think are share worthy?
Yeah, a couple vendors I know pretty well. They were able to put their children through college. You know, being an entrepreneur, which
that's awesome.
Which just warms my heart. Just
I love hearing that.
There's like 3 generations working the same space, or they have 4 or 5, whatever that they have a family business. I would love to work with my grandfather or grandma if they were alive.
Yeah, 100%.
Same.
I would love
in
that.
their passion too. Like it's so cool.
Just learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from them, and I'm lucky to work with my dad, but just having like a family business, I think that'd be really cool.
I agree.
So that's a success story. Just dealing with the folks that run the food. We get to talk to them all the time about how their kids are doing, how their families,
Right.
So just knowing that they're able to provide for their families and enjoy what they're doing and provide to all of the visitors as well. So makes me happy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I feel like that's very rewarding.
Oh, and lastly, when a vendor starts with one space, they do very well.
Yeah.
They start a small business, with us as the platform, and then they expand 2, 3, 4 spots. That's awesome. They don't have to go buy a 5,000 square foot front retail space at a strip mall.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
they can just come with us and have a good time, and we maintain the property and they have their space. So it's awesome. So
yeah, it is a really
it's like
cool
a
thing to
no-brainer.
see.
I feel like if you have a small business or you're kind of starting off and you're starting to produce, let's say candles or whatever the case may be, it's like such a great place to get your name out there. And I love how you guys let your vendors make it their own. I think that's really great of Swap. Like
but you know how, especially starting your own business, you know how intimidating that can be.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean, to Justin's point, it's like when you see someone be like, asking 100 questions, very hesitant, and they're very like anxious and things. And then
is this going to work?
They're packing up their stuff because they sold everything within 4 hours, and they're like, we'll be back. And it's like, wow, like, that really does warm your heart when you're like, we provided that opportunity for you to do that, so it is pretty cool.
And to touch on that real quick, and just to know that the experience of a new vendor, like you were saying, we have such a strong team at each location that the vendor works with to get that space, from the top down. And there's a good chance that they're gonna, enjoy a pretty good chance that they're gonna enjoy their experience from the time they enter till the time they start selling.
Exactly.
So that makes me feel good knowing that they're in good hands.
I agree.
Well, and finally, like maybe if you can tell us any new developments or things for the future that we can look out for SwapORama wise.
Just awesome marketing.
Spill the tea for us.
Awesome
Justin,
spill
spill the tea.
Yeah, tell us the dirt, Justin. Come on.
No, the dirt, we're just going to continue doing what we're doing.
Open your emails, Justin. Just show us your email logs and we'll be fine.
We need to know everything that's going on.
Do not fix what's broken.
Yes.
Wait, excuse me. Wait.
Don't.
If it ain't
broken, don't fix it.
Oh my God! How many people did that take?
Wow, sick.
But no, I'm gonna hopefully work with the team to continue to make improvements operationally. The company's been around for 55 years now.
Yeah.
So there's always improvements that we can be making from the top down, including myself, to streamline processes.
Well, you're pretty perfect. So.
Well, thank you, but
let me tell you, Kristina does not give compliments like that. Okay, so
it's almost the end of the year.
Wow.
It is almost September 18th.
We got a review.
Our work anniversary, girl.
Thank you for the compliment. No, but I think that there's always room for improvement. Team members always bring up stuff that can be looked at and cleaned up. And my goal is to get on top of some of that stuff that has been there that I just haven't been able to tackle at this point, and then move on that and just make Swap better.
Yeah,
perfect. So love to hear that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's end up with the flea final 5.
Okay.
All right, so these are a little bit more fun, okay? But
boy.
What's the best thing you've ever bought from Swap?
The best thing I bought was my kids' names were made out of sand art.
Oh.
I brought them home. Really cool. And from the Alsip location.
That's cool.
And I brought them home, and my wife loved them for a few minutes, and then some of the sand started coming out. She's like, Justin, what have you done?
Oh, no.
So,
all over the house.
Yeah, no, so they lasted for a while, but I'm like, so then eventually they had to go. But that was
cool.
super cool. And then also part 2 was a very cool putter that my friend purchased. And
golf putter?
And it was a golf putter.
putter.
It was a $300 putter.
I believe it.
And he
I've
got
seen
it.
good
He got it
putt
for
there.
10.
Wow.
Super old putter, but really cool.
Love that.
All right.
My next question was the best deal? That's
a good
to me.
deal.
That had to have been. That, I mean, I'm sure there's other deals, but that one I was a part of. That was a really good deal.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you love most about working there?
What I love most about working at Swap is just when you go to the market on a Saturday or Sunday, you just don't know what you're going to find when you're shopping, and just the pure excitement of and the vibe and the energy. That's what I love most. Like that, I'll never get sick of that ever.
Same.
I agree.
Love that. And finally, if you were a vendor, what would you sell?
Ooh.
Produce. I would be. I would like
100%
that video that you made.
Juicy Justin
with the melons.
The melon. I'm telling you, I love that melon video.
Do you love it?
I would eat that melon all day long.
Agreed.
Seriously.
I could not stop eating.
And
it.
I would be
Christina was
cutting.
like, come on.
And cutting the aloe too.
Yeah.
I would really enjoy that.
See,
so
I would also do produce.
Produce.
I love the produce.
Yeah,
at Swap.
and everybody's loving going through the produce sections. They're like, they're having a ball. The kids are doing. They're getting the onions and
the only packing and unpacking that though. It's like,
But I mean, you'd have to really
once
you really figured out a system, like our guys in the
true.
electronics, how they put it in their thing. And I feel like once you get a system, like you're good. I'm all about the produce too. Every time I go to Swap,
do you make money off of that?
Get produce.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they clearly wouldn't. They wouldn't be doing it for as long as they have if they're not making money, right?
And I'm sorry. Have you guys seen the produce at the grocery store lately? It doesn't look that good.
I know.
So
The fruit does not last very long.
It does not look good.
So yeah, it's
go to Swap.
Try Swap. Justin, Joseph, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And it's been great getting to know you on this level and introducing you to our flea fam.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you were able to join us.
Any final thoughts from you, from Rachel?
I just want to say thank you both for having me. It was awesome.
Yes, it was our pleasure.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Keep doing what you're doing. The world is loving it. So
I love
Whoa.
that. Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to definitely end it on that note.
Next. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy, so
we do appreciate you coming in. As always, if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
And thank you for watching another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea.
See you next time.